Good evening. I'm Barinthia Levine. I'm the Vice President for University Advancement here at Cleveland State University and the Executive Director of the CSU Foundation. And it's truly an honor for me to be able to welcome all of you here tonight for such a wonderful celebration, because we're celebrating you, our donors. You know, you are so important to CSU. You make such a difference to our students and to the atmosphere here. And we really wanted to show you and tell you how much we appreciate all that you do. Before I continue though, I want to make sure that I express our appreciation to our students for playing. I'd like to give them a round of applause. And I'd also like to thank the staff led by Irene Mishrecki for putting this on tonight, so thank you. Tonight is a doubly special night because not only are we celebrating you, our donors, and when I say our donors, who am I talking about? Well, those of you in the room tonight have either made a gift of $1,000 or more to our annual campaign this year, or you've made a cumulative gift to the university and are being recognized as part of our Presidential Recognition Societies for cumulative gifts of $10,000 or more, or you have included the university in your estate plan through a future gift. These gifts are all so very, very important to us. And tonight we're celebrating something extra special, the conclusion of our first ever campaign for student success, Engage, the campaign for Cleveland State University. This past year, we raised, from all of you and others, over $17 million for Cleveland State University. That includes $1.3 million for Radiant Scholarships. Thank you, Tom Adler and Tim Cosgrove, for your leadership on that, and the Foundation Board. And it also includes another over $5 million that will be added to our endowment, primarily for student scholarships. This is just terrific. Philanthropy is so very, very important to Cleveland State. And all of you are very, very important to our students and to our university. So I want to share with you some words from those who have benefited from your generosity. And after that, I'd like to invite President Berkman to come forward to make some remarks. So could we have dimming of the lights and
I think one of the great things about Cleveland State is the diversity and the diversity of the student population. And so I think donors recognize the importance of education, but also the importance of financial aid that goes along with that.
Been working since I was about 14 years old, trying to save up so I could limit my student debt. And with these scholarships, I was able to buy the newest and updated textbooks I could, get the newest Connect programs online to really enhance my learning and make sure that I was learning the most up-to-date material and getting the most out of my experience here.
There are a lot of non-traditional students, so a lot of us are older, a lot of us have families and kids already. So, you know, having the additional burden of, okay, how am I going to pay for these books? How will I pay for these courses on top of obligations and responsibilities that you already have? Having that burden lifted even just a little bit is helpful.
I'm someone who's a first-generation student. I was told, you know, you got to figure out how to pay for your own college, and being self-funded, that's pretty difficult going into living on your own. No parental support, you know, financially or emotionally for a while, unless you take that trip home. But my financial aid and scholarships has helped me take focus. Yes, I still work, and I still have that work experience during college, but I've been able to take the time to really focus on my academics and do well and excel in those.
with financial aid, I'm able to afford to go here. Other colleges and universities I was looking at when graduating from high school weren't really in my financial reach, but Cleveland State was. And with all the scholarship and financial aid I get, I'm able to come here.
Scholarships played a big role for me. I am, like I said, a mother of two, and I was working 2 part-time jobs, so it was really difficult sometimes to pay for books or pay for parking, and if it wasn't for financial aid, I probably wouldn't have been able to go to school, honestly.
The financial aid and the scholarship gave me options. It let me fully commit to being a student in ways that I wouldn't have been able to had I gone to a different university.
I'd like to thank you very much for the donations you provided towards CSU. Your scholarship meant a lot to me.
I just want to thank you for giving students like myself the opportunity to go after our dreams.
Donors, thank you so much for your support. I want you to know that you made a difference in my life. Thank you so much for making my dream come true of receiving the diploma from Cleveland State University.
So those students that you saw are really the heart and soul of this university. And what makes this job so special and what makes this mission so distinct is our opportunity to offer these students, still 40% of them in the upcoming graduating class, who are the first in their family to go to college. So I know we have another opportunity corridor in Cleveland, but I believe right here in the heart of Cleveland, this is the most important opportunity corridor that we have in this city. I want to thank you all for believing in Cleveland State, for believing in these kids, for believing in the mission, supporting it with your time, your energy, your treasure, your commitment. The financial support for most of these kids really is the difference between them being able to continue or them stopping out of their education. There are some of our students who, with a $400 or $500 delta, cannot come back the next semester. Radiance and other programs have helped, those students to reach the goal line, but you have helped these students to reach the goal line. This is clearly the heart of student success. And again, it's about your belief in these students and my belief in these students. The most important, the most satisfying piece of my almost 9 years here at Cleveland State is my opportunity to interact with these students and to be able to do something to help them realize their aspirations. So you could not, in my estimation, pick a better cause than these students, and this is the cause. So I'd like to acknowledge and thank everyone in the room, but particularly our Board of Trustees who are here, led by Chairman Bernie Moreno. If you hold your applause till the end. The entire board, our entire Board of Trustees, supported both Engage, this campaign, many with 7-figure gifts, as well as Radiance. Our Foundation Board, led by Tim Cosgrove, every member of that board was a donor to this campaign. Our Engage co-chairs, Don Washkowitz and Monty Ahuja, And you know, if you're an alum of Cleveland State University, what better statement and what better gift than to have your flag fly, your name fly forever on a college of Cleveland State University. Thank you both immeasurably for that. Our Radiance co-chairs for the past 7 years, what do you get to people who go out and ask for money, okay, for 7 years in a row? You get them here at Cleveland State, and they're named Tom Adler and Tim Cosgrove. They've raised $6.1 million. And now that Radiance dollars are last in money for students. Those are students, okay, who I'm talking to you about, who are juniors or seniors in good academic standing. The only thing that stands in the way of that crossing that stage and getting their diploma is the ability to financially meet their obligations. Our alumni board of directors, our visiting committee, our academic deans, our faculty and staff, more than 600 of our faculty and staff donated to the campaign. Charity starts at home, and they represented it. To Barinthia, where's Barinthia? To Barinthia, okay, who really was an incredible partner and the heart and soul of this campaign, and just would not get off the accelerator, okay, until we had finished this journey. Stand up, Barinthia. And of course, in back of her was the entire advancement staff that I hope bugged you, nudged you, urged you, cajoled you, okay, and got you here tonight. 2 years ago at Radiance, we announced the public phase of Engage, the campaign for Cleveland State University, with the goal of $100 million to support student success. I have to do a little diversion, okay? So we had a meeting with the campaign cabinet 3 years ago, basically, and there was a proposal on the table that the first campaign for Cleveland State be $64 million, okay? And Monty and Don, who are the co-chairs, right, somehow, I don't know why, didn't resonate with the $64 million number, and said, no, we have to do more than $64 million. And the cabinet agreed that we would have a $100 million campaign with a focus on supporting student success through scholarships and preparation. It was our first campaign ever. We were truly in uncharted territory. And we were able to succeed. The response to Engage truly has been overwhelming over these past 2 years. It says something about all of you. It says something about the special place that Cleveland is. It says something about the special place that Cleveland State has in people's vision in Cleveland. There were more than 20 transformational gifts of $1 million or more in the campaign. Thanks to all your gifts, large and small, Engage surpassed its $100 million goal 2 years ahead of schedule. And what was the final audited tally? We don't have Price Waterhouse here. Going once, the final audited tally? 125? 117? Any other bidders? These two guys could pay, actually. The final audited tally is $114 million for Cleveland State. And that $114 million was donated by 36,000 distinct donors in the campaign. So once again, thank you for making the dream of these students possible. And I just want to leave you with a sense of where we are, okay, as a university, and what we've been able to achieve. The prestigious Brookings Institution, which has done 2 studies of higher ed, okay, that don't have to do with how many books you have in the library, how big your endowment is, or who graduated from your institution, et cetera, but have to do with what have you done for students. And what this study looked at was institutions, 324 public institutions, and measured, okay, what institutions out of that representative sample are able to successfully accomplish 2 major missions of public university. First, to provide access for students, students who would otherwise likely not have access to higher education, and secondly, to be able to produce, by NSF numbers, high research productivity. So I think you all should take incredible pride at the fact that in this ranking of how well public universities do in accomplishing these 2 goals, Cleveland State University, your university, is 18th in the nation. The only one in Ohio, the Cleveland State University, was the only one in Ohio to get the best of the best category. So again, I want to thank Don and Monty for their leadership and their generosity and their continued connectivity. I mean, they graduated more than 5 years ago, I think, all right? But they've stayed here. They've stayed with us. They've stayed and been a part of us, and they led this campaign. So we're very grateful to them. Now, we segue into the hallway, if I'm robotically following the directions. We segue into the hallway where we will do the big reveal. Hello again. So this is the big reveal. I wanted to tell you that while we were there in that room, and after we made some remarks and we saw the video for the student, we had a donor who told us that they will commit $1 million more. Okay? So anytime you all want to come back and hear me do that again, we can go back into the room, okay? And maybe, as Hemingway said, the earth will move for somebody else, okay? So I'm going to ask the co-chairs of the campaign, Monty Ahuja and Don Washkowitz, to join me on the podium and to make some comments to those gathered.
Thank you, Ron. What a great evening. It is truly a great pleasure and a great honor to have the opportunity to serve as the co-chair of this first campaign with my friend Don Washkowitz. As you heard earlier from Dr. Berkman, that when the committee met first time 2 years ago to decide on this campaign, there was a little apprehension, and somehow they had decided to come up with a $64 million campaign. And both Don and I, sitting next to each other, we said, everybody's going to ask us, what is the $64 million question? It's got to be an even number. And And having completed, not only completed, but far exceeding the campaign, 2 years ahead of the budget, I know the first time in my life I undersold myself to this team. It will never happen again. My whole life has been very entwined and engaged with CSU for almost the entire career that I've had. I graduated in 1975 as an MBA graduate here, and then having served as a board of trustees for 9 years, I also had the opportunity to serve as the chairman of the board for 6 years. So I have always said that the CSU has been my second home. It is here during my MBA program when I developed a business plan and I launched my business on April 1, 1975. That has completely changed my life and our whole family's life in the last 40 years. Ron said that I graduated 5 years ago. He just missed by 36 years. My wife and I have been truly engaged. We truly love Cleveland State University, and she also has played a role in it as a professor. And the timing was great. She taught here as a professor when I was a student. And those of you who've been here a long time ago will remember one of the most precious things on the campus was the parking. And I was able to use her parking pass. Well, this program, Engage, this is going to make a great difference in the lives of many CSU students, not only that it already has. I believe the future of our nation is in education. I believe the future of Northeast Ohio is in education. I believe the future of all of us is in education. And I do believe a campaign of this class will make a big difference in the lives of many people and help them achieve their dreams of being a great, successful alumni. Most importantly, it is going to be of great value to Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, and this is one university where the majority of the graduates stay in the region where they graduate from. In my business, I come across many people, and just most recently, when we hired our new CFO, the one thing that attracted me that on his resume said graduated from Ahuja College of Business. And I was interviewing him. I said, Joe, you're halfway already there, so let's talk the other half. So again, good luck to all the great students here. You got a great career ahead of you, and I am feeling myself, my family, my wife, we feel blessed to be very much part of it. Thank you.
Well, good evening. And go Tribe. Right? I think they started at 7:10, so I'm not sure how they're doing. Oh, do you? You want us to keep on moving here? I see. I just thought I would start by taking this opportunity to congratulate President Berkman and his team for a very successful campaign. I think anybody that's ever done anything like this realizes that it all comes down to leadership. And without President Berkman's leadership, nothing good would have happened. So I really gotta congratulate him. Like Monty, my CSU education provided a strong foundation for me upon which I built my career. My wife Pam, who's down in the front row here, and I are proud to personally support Cleveland State. And the company where I spent my career, which is Parker Hannifin, I think many of you know Parker here in town, has a particularly strong bond with Cleveland State University, philanthropically and through research and education. And by the way, that goes back probably 20 years, maybe even longer than 20 years, that relationship. I have no words to convey how proud I am of the success of Engage. I didn't think that we'd ever get to 114 million, which is fantastic. And it's also been fun to be part of the university in this campaign to advance higher education in Northeast Ohio. As you know, Cleveland State is an anchor for our city, and our work is essential to the future economic vitality in Cleveland. And that's evidenced by the huge footprint that Cleveland State has here. When I went here, there were 3 little buildings. And now I'm not sure how many there are, probably 30, maybe even more. So yeah, probably more than 30. So it's really fantastic, the growth that we've had and the impact that it's had on Northeast Ohio. So your investment, everyone here and the entire group that contributed, certainly is an investment in our city in Northeast Ohio. It's an investment that will pay dividends for many years going forward because of the workforce and leaders who will make Cleveland great will come to a great extent from Cleveland State. So once again, I just wanted to congratulate everybody and congratulate President Berkman and the entire team that worked on the campaign for a real successful campaign. Thank you very much.
So we have for each of you a picture of me.
Oh,
No, it's the first picture we took together.
He wasn't kidding.
It's the first picture we took together the issue of the Cleveland State Alumni News that announced the campaign.
Very nice. I think this is his, though, right? Is that...
Oh, yeah, they're the same, but the names are different. You're right.
Same picture.
And for the incredible partners in this endeavor, and there are incredible partners in this endeavor, and Pam Washburn. Want to take those?
Thank you. So now,
so these are 2 engineers. Who have been schooled and practiced in the technology, of executing the big reveal. So I will just stand here.
Now this is a little scary because if you look here, I wanted to make sure that somebody had checked this out. So Monty, I'm gonna push this one tab here, this one button, and then Monty's gonna. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we're gonna give it a shot. So okay, here we go. I guess the red light is going to go on here. So now it's after.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, take off. You notice that we left the room at the top of the wall. And at the bottom of the wall, for any of you who are so moved, there is still vacancy. So once again, thank you all so much. Dessert, wine, and anything else is back in the main room. Once again, thank you very much.